Most arguments don't live in people's minds as exact quotes. They live as a feeling. That's the uncomfortable part. People remember how you made them feel long after they forget what you actually said. We like to believe the world is logical. That if we explain ourselves clearly, people will remember the content and judge it fairly. But memory doesn't work like a transcript. Most people don't store conversations word for word. They store the emotional summary, safe or unsafe, respected or dismissed, seen or ignored, calm or tense. That's why two people can leave the same conversation with completely different memories. Not because one is lying, because the emotional experience becomes the headline and the details become blurry. In real life, you see this everywhere. Someone can't repeat what you said, but they can describe exactly how it landed. You embarrassed me. You made me feel small. You made me feel pressured. You made me feel stupid. They may not remember the sentences, but they remember the atmosphere. And here's the part people don't like. Your intention doesn't control the emotional imprint. You can mean well and still leave someone feeling dismissed. You can be right and still leave someone feeling humiliated. You can be honest and still leave someone feeling unsafe. The mind forgets wording, but the body remembers tone. This is why tone, timing, and delivery often matter more than the argument itself. Not in a fake, be nice way, more like this. Humans are constantly scanning for status and safety. If your words arrive with impatience, sarcasm, moral superiority, or coldness, the brain reads threat. Once threat is felt, the message gets rejected, even if the logic was perfect. That's also why a simple sentence can create long damage. Not because it was complex, but because it hit an emotional nerve. People might not remember what you said about the situation, but they remember the moment they felt judged, and that memory becomes a filter. After that, they hear you differently. They expect the same feeling again. You can even watch it in yourself. Think of a time you won an argument, but felt worse afterward. Or a time someone was technically correct, but you still felt insulted. You probably don't remember the exact phrasing today, but you remember the emotional stain. The realization is blunt. Most relationships aren't shaped by what's said once. They're shaped by the emotional pattern people associate with you over time. Are you the person who makes things feel heavy? The person who makes people feel safe? The person who makes people feel watched, judged, rushed, compared? That's what sticks. So, if you want one practical shift that doesn't require becoming fake, it's this. Before the point you want to make, decide what you want the feeling to be. Do you want them to feel respected? Do you want them to feel calm enough to listen? Then make the point from that place. Because if the feeling becomes threat, your words won't survive the moment anyway. People won't remember your exact sentences, but they will remember what being around you feels like. And that's the part that quietly decides everything. If this made you think, subscribe to MindSignal.